Assalamu alaikum. As you all know that we have a series of lectures on different subjects on different areas such as international relations, current affairs, Pakistan affairs, history and world map. Today this lecture is also from international relations, and the topics we are going to discuss are realism and idealism. Realism and idealism are two main theories of IR, and if you are the aspirants of CSS, PMS and PCS and you have opted IR, then you must join with us in this lecture. Here we go with realism. First of all, realism, also called political realism. Political realism. Those who follow, those who are the advocates of this theory are called realist. Realism explains international relations in terms of power. According to realism, IR is only for power. States use power against each other, and that phenomena is called power politics or realpolitik. Realism supports weaponization, military, or balance of power. According to realism, countries, they only struggle, they make the fun policy, they engage in relations only to seek power, nothing else. Since the beginning of nation-state system from Treaty of Westphalia was part of Germany. 1648, this treaty was signed. This treaty laid the foundation of nation-state system. The nation, other countries, they struggle for power. It's clear, right? And I think realism is also somehow right. Why? Because in 1974, when India became nuclear power, Pakistan felt insecure. Ultimately, Pakistan started its nuclear program to counter any threat, any aggression from Indian side. And now when the two countries are nuclear power countries, now there is balance of power in South Asia, and this balance of power has somehow maintained peace in South Asia. Let's discuss the advocates or the proponents of this theory. Thucydides, famous Greek scholar, political scientist in the ancient age. He is known for writing on Peloponnesian Wars. He is known as, for the Peloponnesian Wars. These wars were fought in Greek from 431 to 404 BC. Thucydides, he believed that the Greek city-states, those city-states which were powerful, they became conqueror, they defeated the others. Therefore, he focused upon that power must be a military power, must be for a country, and he is having credit that he laid the foundation, or he is the ancient founder of the realism theory. Apart from him, Thomas Hobbes, a big name, the great political scientist from the UK. Thomas Hobbes, in the 17th century, he supported realism. Hobbes supported kingdom, monarchies. He was against freedom of speech, freedom of press, or freedom of expression, etc. So Thomas Hobbes was a strong supporter of realism theory. Right. Now there's a big name, there's a Hans Morgenthau. Hans Morgenthau, he was from the USA. He is having great credit that in the 20th century, in the post Second World War era, after the Second World War, Hans Morgenthau greatly contributed in the field of realism, and he is having the credit that he is the father of power politics, because Hans Mogenthau said, international politics is a struggle for power, nothing else. So he was a strong supporter of realism, Hans Mogenthau. Then we are having Nicola Machiavelli. From Italy, he was also supporter of realism theory. Apart from these, we have other names like Napoleon Bonaparte from France, Adolf Hitler of Germany, Benito Mussolini of Italy. So these also struggled for power, for military hegemony. They were strong supporters of realism theory. So realism theory rejects international law, international organizations, human rights, morally values, principles, because realism considers only military power or the balance of power solution for everything. It does not believe in diplomacy, in human rights and freedoms. This is what we have in realism. Now moving towards idealism. Idealism supports international law, international organizations like the League of Nations, the United Nations, agreements, diplomacy, human rights, democracy. It also supports economic development, human development. As realism says, military development is everything. But idealism says there should be military power or military development or the weapons, but along with that, at the same time, there must be economic development, human development, peace, democracy, international laws, organizations, right? And those who support idealism theory, we call them idealist. And we are having big names: Jean-Jacques Rousseau, famous French political scientist and a scholar of the 18th century. Rousseau said in his book Social Contract, Rousseau said that people are connected with society with some contract or agreements or the principles, right? It means that people must try to become peace loving. They should have laws, organizations, economic development, freedom, democracy. So Jean-Jacques Rousseau greatly contributed in the field of idealism, right? Then we are having Immanuel Kant. Kant from Prussia, Germany. According to Immanuel Kant, trade must be there. Even if two countries are rival, they are anti each other, but if there is trade between these two countries, they would avoid engaging in war, or they would avoid any disturbance. So if there is trade, and trade maintains peace, security and development. I think Immanuel Kant was somehow right. But this concept of Kant has been rejected by the proponents of realism theory, because the realists say that before the First World War, there was trade between the countries, between Central Powers and the Allied Powers, but again they fought. So the realists say that trade did not stop countries to fight in the First World War. But I think Kant is somehow right, but trade is going to maintain peace and security in the region. Then we are having a big name, that is Woodrow Wilson, the famous US president. In 1918, when he delivered a speech in Congress and he gave his famous 14 points, I think the 14 points of Woodrow Wilson and the formation of the League of Nations materialized idealism theory. When there is international organization, international law, This means there is big role of idealism. So Woodrow Wilson greatly contributed in the field of idealism by giving his 14 points and by laying the foundation of the League of Nations. But the League failed then to start the Second World War because the USA and the Soviet Union, they were out of the League therefore. Then we have got other name, Alfred Zimmermann. Alfred Zimmermann. Alfred Zimmermann, who is having credit of coining the word welfare state. He was also from England. So Alfred Zimmermann said there must be welfare state. I mean, there should be human development then. So Zimmermann was also in favor of idealism theory. Then there's a big name, Jeremy Bentham. Jeremy Bentham, who coined the word international relations in the 18th century. He was also in favor of idealism theory. So idealism supports values, economic development. Idealism says that not only military power is the element of national power, but there is your geographical location, economic development, cultural development. And idealism says that countries, they promote their foreign policy not only to achieve military power but also for their economic development, for cooperation, for the human development. This is what idealism says. So today this is enough for us, and we will be together with another lecture. Till that, Allah Hafiz.